If you love movies, love wasting your money on online gambling, or just want to engage with a bunch of pointless drama, you're in luck because it's Oscars season. That time of year where we award the best films that came out the previous year, and also whatever garbage managed to sneak in. Though this year we're surprisingly light on garbage. There aren't really any movies from the Best Picture lineup I dislike, but there weren't any I thought were 5-star masterpieces either. I have good and bad things to say about all of them. This ranking is pretty loose and is basically just an excuse to talk about these films, so try not to get too mad at me, please. In last place is Train Dreams. I don't even not like this. I gave it 3 stars on Letterboxd, but it just feels like one of those indie movies that's very style over substance, and it's very well shot and beautiful, but I can't help that I found the story boring. In fact, this was the only film on this list that I was bored during. And I think that's due to feeling a lack of depth to the story, like it was relying on vague images and ideas instead of storytelling. And also, not to be rude to Felicity Jones, they keep putting her in these period pieces with these gruffy, older looking actors playing her husband, and she feels super out of place. Next we have F1. Again, not a bad movie. I actually really enjoyed it. Yet I really don't feel like it should be here at all. It's well known among predictors that this slot was supposed to go to It Was Just an Accident, which I'd vastly prefer. The racing scenes are well done, and I like Bardem and Carrie Condon a lot here, but the plot is very generic. It's kind of a rehash of Top Gun Maverick's plot. I don't mind stuff like this for a big blockbuster movie, but for a Best Picture contender, it's missing a lot of the elements it should have. Begonia is next. Here we're getting into territory of movies I have no issue with being here. Begonia is a cool and interesting movie with a lot of great elements. It's super creative, the acting is great, and I love the premise. I don't think those elements really fit together into a perfect puzzle though. It feels a bit like it's there to shock and provoke and ask questions rather than form a thesis, which may be for some, but it really isn't for me. Also, a lot of this is shot on one location, and for this section it drags a little pacing-wise. The third act, though, is extremely energetic and definitely exciting to watch, to say the least. So this one is good, but a little aimless. Up next is Frankenstein. I haven't read the book, but the ultimate success of this movie was making me want to read the book. This was a very nice, enjoyable, entertaining movie. The costumes and sets and props and everything look excellent. I think Jacob Elordi gives an incredible performance here. The section towards the end where the monster is in the cabin with the old man is definitely my favorite part. It was very emotionally impactful. A lot of people complained about the effects in this, but I didn't personally have an issue with that. I thought the movie looked great. There were a lot of editing and directing choices that were somewhat distracting though, but overall I was invested a lot in the story and the characters, so I had a good time. And then we have Hamnet. This is easily the most depressing movie here. The cinematography is pretty, and the costumes and set design capture the time period as well. It's very tender and emotional, and I got choked up at points. The best part of this, though, is Jessie Buckley, who's outstanding here. Her performance will really stick with you. I also like the themes of loss and the exploration of how death was so common during this time period. This doesn't hit me quite as hard as it hit others, especially towards the ending, but it's absolutely worth seeing. Starting off the top 5 is The Secret Agent. This movie is very stylish. You can feel how 70s it is with the set design and costumes and even just how it's shot. This is one of the nominees for the new casting award, and you can tell why, because there are tons of supposedly minor roles in this that require a lot. And every person on screen brings a unique presence. The directing is so clean and crisp, especially in the high tension situations. The third act and the ending are really fantastic and memorable. This is kind of hard to follow though. There are a lot of characters, and I was checking the Wikipedia plot synopsis occasionally because I was a little lost. It is also a little slowly paced. I think this one might come together a bit better on a rewatch, but I still liked it on the first watch. Next on the list is Sentimental Value. This is a lot more understated and complex and introspective than the other films on this list. There isn't any contrived drama or anything like that. It feels like people working through their emotions and the situations they're in. The 4 main performances in this are really excellent, and the ending really emotionally impacted me. There's some gut punch moments similar to Hamnet. It also has some funny and insightful commentary on the film industry. Again, I probably need to rewatch this because it's pretty dense, but still a great first watch. though this has the worst usage of paper towels I've ever seen in a film. Seriously, what is wrong with you? That's not how you use paper towels. First in the top 3 is Marty Supreme. Like The Secret Agent, this gets the time period style perfectly. From the set design to the costumes, everything looks perfect. I also enjoy the anachronistic elements like the 80s score. It kind of feels like the 80s take on the 50s. The cast is also perfect. Timothée Chalamet gives my favorite lead performance of the year, and Odessa Zion is amazing as well. Every character feels very real and thought out, and even minor ones deliver great performances. My only gripe is that the second act feels drawn out, but the ending is pretty fantastic, so I guess that makes up for it. Number 2 is Sinners. This movie feels alive in a way not a lot of others do. The characters feel real and deep and are brought to life in great performances. In particular, I like Delroy Lindo and Wunmi Masaku. Their interactions and dialogue are also very entertaining and memorable. For a drama, this is still very funny. There are both serious elements and kind of campy elements that are balanced very well. Overall, it feels like Ryan Coogler built a world and didn't just make a movie. Not to mention it has some of the best musical sequences in any movie ever. The only issue I had is how many flashbacks there are, especially towards the end. This is kind of a pet peeve of mine, like I saw the movie, I remember what happened, but otherwise excellent. And number 1, surprising not many people, is the likely Best Picture winner, One Battle After Another. This movie is 2 hours and 45 minutes, and yet you do not feel it at all because this is so well paced and so entertaining. The directing and editing are so flawless and smooth. The score by Johnny Greenwood is amazing and complements the film perfectly. Similar to Marty Supreme and Sinners, this has very memorable characters that I think will outlive the film itself. And the cast is all amazing, but it also feels like they're having fun. They all bring their A game and have very well written characters to flesh out. Chase Infinity and Leo are great as leads, and Tiana Taylor, Regina Hall, Benicio del Toro, and Sean Penn are all brilliant. It's also funny and satirical in a way that satirizes our modern society very well. Also, this has the best car chase in the same year the F1 movie came out. The only thing I'd criticize is that on a rewatch, I think the first 30 minutes are not as good as the rest. Not to say it's bad, but there's some moments I think are a little cringe, whereas after that I have nothing negative to say. I think the thing that separates this from the rest is the refinement and skill of someone that's worked and made great movies for 30 years. So a little basic, but that's my choice for Best Picture. In terms of snubs, Weapons and No Other Choice are the main ones I wish were nominated, but this is still a solid lineup. There are no Amelia Perez level flops here, so I can't complain. I think One Battle will likely win, but Sinners could also surprise, and I wouldn't be mad at either. But if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe and let me know what your choice is for Best Picture. Bye bye.